All right, I kept you guys waiting long enough. Let's talk about this Flying V. Yeah, brothers and sisters, we're back. I know I've been hinting towards this guitar. I've been playing a little bit in videos here or there, but I figured today I would finally talk about it. For the first time, this is a newer guitar that I put my hands around, and it felt, acted like, and resonated like a really old guitar. So I'm going to get into this, but I mean, I'm going to have some pictures in the video as well. Very much like a 58 Flying V. The stinger, the aged hardware, the beautiful work. This guitar has become one of my favorites in such a short time. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on it, and I'll tell you what this thing is all about. So as you guys know, I'm a huge Albert King fan, and he's just been so inspiring. His playing and his relation to the players that initially got me turned on to guitar. Albert King has just been very pivotal and super impactful for the stuff that turns me on as far as the playing and the soul and the attitude behind it. Albert King is, he's got to be in my top 5. And I've always been a Flying V fan. A while back, I had built a Flying V with my friend Joe, JB Guitars, and we put a lot of heart and soul in that. It was made with Limba, I think, which is sort of in the family of Carina or Mahogany, one of the two. I'm sorry, don't quote me. But that was a great guitar. And the only thing was that guitar was so clean. It just had that brand new guitar feel, and I had to reshape the neck because the neck was a little big, and it's still a great guitar, but I'd rather keep it the way it is and not, beat the hell out of it and get it all marred up, because I shared a lot of good times with Joe building that guitar, and Joe has become a really, really great friend. So that's a guitar that can stay in the case, and it'll always be there, and it'll always hold those memories. I don't have to worry about ruining it or anything like that. When I say it feels and acts like an old guitar, it's extremely lightweight. The neck feels like an old Gibson neck. It feels quite like my 59 Les Paul Jr. neck. It's got checking, and it's aged, and like I said, you'll see in the photos the aging on all the components. This guitar has just totally tripped me out. This guitar came from Josh at Protocasters. I had known about Josh, and I saw some of his refinish work and his aging work, and it was really, really great. I messaged him back a few times, and maybe earlier in the year I had said, I do want a replica Flying V, and he was like, yeah, let me tell you my process. So this guitar started out as a Joe Bonamassa Amos tribute guitar. Now, I'm not going to get into the specs of that guitar because there's tons of information on the internet of what those guitars are made out of, how they're constructed. Some people say it's a Carina laminate. Some people say they're not Carina at all. I'll let you argue that out in the comments. And actually, if you want to give me some details, maybe hit me and educate me, you can leave that down below. But this guitar started off as an Amos Joe Bonamassa tribute, and starting off with the construction, the neck was the entire neck was reshaped. It was actually slimmed down to a proper 1.11/16". The back shape, it remained the same back shape, but just form fitted to the excess that was taken off the sides here. Josh did go and put a stinger on the back of this with a 58 serial number, which is really, really cool. He did route it properly like the V's were down in the control cavity. And everything, the parts were all custom made from the pick guard. The rings were properly shaped and aged, and all these components were aged to make this look like a real guitar. And it looks amazing. I've seen two V's in real life. And obviously nothing beats the real thing, but for what I'm looking to do and the amount of playing I want to do and the fun I want to have with it and the ease of playing and the comfortability with the Gibson guitar, especially me being a Strat guy, this guitar does it all for me. Like I said, the aging is beautiful. The electronics in this guitar, the switch and the 3 pots are from 1959. They're old components, and much of the braided wiring in here is actually from a complete 1959 harness. The 2 pickups are a set of patent number pickups, so you still have some old pickups, whether they be 60s into the 70s. Patent number pickups here that I got from my buddy Joel, and the guitar is wired in out of phase. So in the middle position, you get that Albert King kind of tone that I was going after. And then if you just knock one of the volumes back a hair, it really kind of puts it back in phase. It's really, really enjoyable to play because you get yourself 4 tones out of the guitar. One thing I will say about the neck, the volume pot for the neck measures quite high. It measures over 500K. That's all I'll say. So it caused the neck pickup, which in some cases can be muddy to some people, to be really clean and articulate, and very much of the Motown soul kind of rhythm type playing. Dave Davies. It's a really, really great transparent full neck pickup, and the bridge is just a tomahawk. It'll cut your head right off. Just been super inspired by this guitar. I've gotten into V's because of it. I'll never be able to afford one, but you know, this just goes to show you that it doesn't, you know, to me, people may think I only play old guitars, but to me, this guitar that was just aged properly to feel like an old one. Maybe it's just the feel we're after, but the checking and the back of the neck being worn and smooth, there's none of that nitro kind of sludge that slows you down. Josh also did refinish this guitar properly, so the finish that came from the factory on these guitars is quite thick, almost like a poly finish. It actually is a poly undercoat from what I've read. So that entire finish was removed painstakingly. Body thicknesses were made proper to the vintage ones. Whatever was needed to get the guitar to be authentic to what the real old V's had was done with this guitar. This guitar necessarily wasn't meant to be mine. I saw this guitar from a friend, and I put an order in with Josh because I was so enamored by the guitar. So we basically hashed it out, and we came up with a plan. He took my order, and he said, you know, I'll start it in 6 weeks. And about 2 weeks later, he said, Nick, you're not going to believe this. I have an opportunity to save me a lot of time and aggravation and save you a lot of money. The guitar that initially brought you in contact with me is for sale. I contacted the seller, and before you knew it, the guitar was in my hands. And as soon as I pulled it out, I could tell by the resonance and by the weight and how light it was that the guitar was going to be a loud, just a toneful guitar. And you can hear, it's just got the sound I want. It does what I want. The pickups aren't overpowering in any position. They're smooth. They're well balanced. I can play rhythm and feel great in the neck. I can also play a lead line in the neck and not feel like it's too muddy. The bridge pickup is amazing, and I really favor that middle position. And also, the out of phase is really great because, like I said, all you have to do is just bump the volume back, and it's incredible. So I'm going to put some clips of the different pickup positions at the end. You guys can check it out. But I know I was kind of keeping you waiting for this one, and here is the Protocaster's replica Flying V, 1958. A beautiful job by Josh at Protocasters. I just want to thank him. I'll leave his Instagram info down below. If you guys are Flying V fans, check him out. Check these guitars out. There's tons of pictures of this one on his Instagram page. Josh is a great dude to deal with. He loves this stuff just like we all do. This is just a badass guitar. Doesn't have to be an old guitar to inspire you, but Josh just did a great job. A couple of my other friends have these. My buddy Yule has one, and they're just amazing. And this is an amazing guitar that everything is aged. All the parts were changed over to US parts, and everything was made right, made to fit. We got US tuners, US bridge. This tailpiece, I believe, was handmade. And Josh just put his heart and soul into these, and I'm grateful to own this guitar. And believe it or not, for a newer guitar, this is one that can hang with any of my vintage instruments, and it's amazing, and it will stay with me. I love this Flying V, and I'm not afraid to beat on it because it's, you know, it is what it is. It just, it looks the part. The stinger is amazing. It's just a killer guitar. So big thanks to Josh at Protocaster Guitars. Big thanks to all of you guys for being patient and waiting for this video. Yeah, just, these guys are artisans. Guys like Josh, guys like my buddy Joel. There's just people doing work out there that's just absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful to call these guys friends and be able to talk to them about it. But yeah, man, this guitar is incredible. Check out the pics, check out the vids, and here you go. There's a story on this Flying V. An absolute ripper. Peace. Bye.